Alright, it's your boy. Here are the rules. Yeah, same as kknowley's, because, I mean, it's just I'm taking his video. Obviously, first step is to reset the account, which takes me a moment, because I don't usually do that. And then I gotta give myself my free perk deck, using Ultimate Trainer 5, which you'll see I'm also not exactly good at using. But, you know, I do eventually find it. There it is. Don't ask where I got the trainer. Yeah, so for this run, I'm gonna be going with Hacker because, I mean, it's just so easy. And I could not remember where the unlock full perk deck button was, so I had to do this manually. Anyway, so my plan is this. I'm going to do a bank heist cache, and then I'm going to collect a bunch of bags, and then I'll do Santa's workshop, because it's a fun one. So obviously you have to wait for the first heist, and kknowley started out with like overkill or something. I figured whatever, I'll just go death sentence. And so here a bank heist gold pops up, which is not what I wanted, since I looked it up and you get experience per bag, and gold is less experience, but I figured whatever, I'll just give it a go. I mean, it's kind of what you expect out of a bank heist stealth at level 0. I kind of start by creeping through the windows, trying to find the manager, until I remember that I can just walk through the front. Whoops. You can tell that I'm not an avid stealther. So yeah, the manager is right there, and I stalk him for a little bit until he ends up alone. And yeah, I mean, it's a bank heist stealth. There's not really much to talk about here. You know, I pick up his key card. I move him a little bit because I think this is probably in view. So, you know, I move him just in case. And the cam guy is right here. So, you know, I take him out. And then from there, you know, you just kind of wait around, wait for a guard to move into position, kill him. Wait for the next to move into position, kill him. I mean, it's not easy, or it's not hard. It's just kind of slow and boring, which is why I don't play stealth. And I just kind of melee a bunch of people to death because, you know, I don't want to be loud. So yeah, that's 3 guards. There's the 4th one, and after the 4th one, you know, you have to deal with the main crowd, which everyone knows how I deal with. Yeah, I shoot them all. What else is there to do, you know? So yeah, I set up the drill, and now I just kind of dick around. I look for packages, pick up some money, and I open this ATM here, which I didn't even know you could do with a basic ECM. But there's going to be a lot of confusion in this run, I'm going to be honest. Anyway, you know, I wait around, and there's less gold than I'd have liked in the vault, but you know what that means. I spent the next 15 minutes lockpicking. And what I noticed is that I'm weirdly, like, fast at lockpicking. It seems faster than usual, and it's because I have a Crude AI boosts. Oh, and I got a bunch of coins from, like, my last save file. I don't really understand if that's intended, but whatever. Anyway, so I finished that, and I started with my weapon of choice for this run, which is, you know, old reliable, the Dragon's Breath Grim. And for my primary, I mean, there's a lot of options, but, you know, akimbo SMGs, they're kind of hard to skip out on, and a lot of them unlock, and they're all kind of the same, so I figured I'd just go for one with style, and I end up settling on the Paras. Yeah. So I slapped together just a quick little build. Nothing particularly interesting. Again, I'm going for Santa's workshop here. Oh yeah, and here you can see I've got crew boosts on, but I mean, I reset the account, so I don't know. Hopefully that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, I just kind of make them a little dodge friendly, since, you know, I'm going for dodge. And at this point, you know, I'm just kind of, I have to read these because, I mean, I don't use bot boosts, so I don't fucking know what they do. But I have to look through them just to know what I'm doing, so I have to give it a little bit of a reading. Anyway, my plan, again, was Santa's Workshop, and then I do that for an hour, and then I get out, because I think Santa's Workshop is nice. And also it's got the safe, which has, like, extra stuff. But at some point, my thought process changes. And I decide maybe it would be smarter to not do that. And then I go for First World Bank. And the reason that I think about First World Bank is because it's stealthable. So here, I pick up Concealer. It's stealthable and loudable, right? And it gives you experience for different parts. So you get experience for, like, hacking the boxes and whatever. And then you can go loud and get experience for the loud objectives. So my plan was to stealth up to the gate and then open it. And since I needed something with more concealment, I went back to the Akimbo SMGs to see if there was one that's more concealed. And I did end up finding it. It was the Akimbo Moosies over there. Anyway, so the plan was to sort of stealth and then do loud with the same objectives overlapping, and hopefully that would give me more experience. I don't actually remember if that's how it works. I don't remember if it resets you depending on which path you're going, but whatever, that's what I went with. So I went with the Akimbo Moosies, I sell my Paras, and whoopsie daisy, now I don't have enough money. So, you know, I go with the Heathers, which are also concealable, but not bad. And they end up having like a silencer on them. I don't know where from, but I mean, it's there. So I picked it up, and then I went on with it. And then I sat and I waited for First World Bank. And I mean, this was honestly torture. It took like 25 minutes or something. It took so long that I sat there and I listened to kknowley's video again.
Some really favorable battle drop RPG.
Eventually, it showed up.
Massive XP dump for any rookie heister. Quite frankly,
this is
made for life.
Just part of the experience.
With over 10 million
for
of what I
you
stole going directly into my spending account, no weapon will be outside my price range.
And it'll be, I think, the very last one as well.
Just live off the interest. But more important than that,
so yeah, that was
XP. Even accounting
miserable,
for 10% base
to be honest.
reduction,
I was kind of losing my mind
entry level,
in my Discord.
Thanks to a worthwhile 400k direct from that murky
and you can see that it still has all my old completions on it. It's weird. I don't know what resetting the account does, I'm gonna be honest. So anyway, yeah, first part, stealthing. Obviously, you look for the manager. And I did end up finding the manager, but I think he was being guarded.
Found it.
No, not in this spot. I did see these two guards, and I thought about getting rid of them. Yes. So I was going to get rid of them, and then immediately he walks out and almost detects me, and I almost screw it up instantly. So maybe I'm not the stealth god that you could imagine, although I've never claimed to be good at stealth. Anyway, I pick up the keycard, move the manager somewhere a little more hidden, and then obviously you start with the hack boxes, of which there are 3. And they give you experience. Hopefully. Again, not exactly sure how that works. So there's box 1. There's box 2. And then after box 3, you get to do the keypad. Or not the keypad, but you need the access code. So that part's all kind of easy. And then eventually, once I get the access code, then I get to go loud. And play the game, finally. After lockpicking boxes for 15 minutes, and then after waiting on CrimeNet for 25 minutes, I finally get to play the video game. And another reason that sort of I'm going for First World Bank is because in the loud, the police takes forever to show up. Although it seems like it was a little bit quicker after I started sort of already moving on with the objectives. But usually, I mean, if you go loud immediately, it's like 3-4 minutes before the police even show up. It's a bit silly. But the drill, you know, it takes a while, so it didn't help too much. Anyway, you wait around for the hack, so I pick that up. And I've got my 2 little converts there. Because, you know, if you want to win, you get 2 converts. But these little silly guys are not good enough, so ideally I want to replace them with actual SWATs sooner than later. Which does end up happening sooner than later. because of that spawn right there. So yeah. I did just kind of like cut this up in editing, and now I'm voicing over it, so there's probably going to be awkward pauses. My beat cop survived, so I kill him real quick and then pick up this guy. Anyway, I mean, from here you just kind of wait it out. First dozers show up, and the Kimbo Heathers critless honestly leave a little bit to desire, but you know, better than nothing. And I mean, I say better than nothing, but I mean most weapons can't even do that much. Anyway, I fixed the drill. You know, whatever. Again, the first world bank, it's not exactly a paragon of difficulty. I checked for snipers there. I don't know why, because I don't think my weapons even have the accuracy to deal with them. Yeah. So, thermite, I mean, if you didn't know, initially when you place it down, it takes 5 minutes. And then when you put down the second can, it'll take 3 minutes. So, really, it needs to take 2 minutes. Oh, I take my first down here to a cloaker. If you can get the second can of thermite within 2 minutes, then it's worth it. Otherwise, it's not. I end up not being able to get it because, well, first off, my converts are dead. And then second off, I have to kind of exit. And then I was downed, I lost all my health. So, you know, I was kind of sad. But I did pick up the bot perk for healing, which did a lot. I mean, the important ones were the healing perk and the extra dodge. This hacker already has a lot of dodge and a lot of healing, so, you know, you add more. Anyway, I kind of ran. As soon as I saw the amount of cops, I was like, oh, cool, I'm dead. But, nope. Survived just fine. Hacker perk deck payday 2. Not that it matters, because now I'm too late for the thermite. So, yeah. Anyway, Vault opens up, and it's a little bit awkward, because, again, a bunch of dozers and critless heathers are less effective than I'd hope. But, you know, I mean, it works. It just takes a little while. From here, it's just kind of whatever, you know, I wait it out, and then I move the bags. And then here's my first reel down to a minigun dozer, which is fun, because minigun dozers are, well, I guess they're the second weakest. The weakest are medic dozers. Minigun dozers are pretty useless. And I had a little bit of a scare here, because Ethan refused to pick me up, which, I mean, I didn't exactly want to sit on the menu again for 25 minutes waiting for first world bank. Like, seriously, he's trolling. He's fucking with me here. This is why no one likes H3 in this game. Now I finally get it. And I forgot to select my character as Ethan, because apparently it resets you to Dallas. Oh well. Anyway, I kept moving the bags, and I end up downing to the minigun again, which is cool, because no one killed it by now. Since my bots, they're just kind of using base Amcar right now. I haven't yet gotten anything good. My plan was, if I could get the Akron, then I would put it on them. If not, I would go for R93 or Mosconi. Those are both good. But I did end up getting enough levels for the Akron. So yeah, just kind of wait around here a little bit until I can make my escape with 2 ECMs. And ideally 2 converts. Yeah, there's that minigun dozer again. No one ended up killing him. I got flashed. And again, I figured I was completely dead, but no, I survived here too. I just kind of walked around randomly, hoping I'd get away. Which I did, and then I survived a bunch of more stupid things, but ended up dying. You know, can't live forever. And then I screwed up the bag throw as well. Very, very sad. And then that bag over there is going to end up with me getting killed by the minigun again. I think this minigun has like 100% hit rate on me or something. Very tragic. But it's okay. I have a medic bag, so you know I'm not exactly worried. This is what I brought it for. My strategy, if you can call it that, is perfectly fine with going down. So anyway, you know, make my escape, collect all the bags. It's pretty straightforward. I end up taking a little bit too long because there's a lot of bags and I'm alone, and I start getting pushed by the enemies. And I also end up downing here because of a silly little heavy SWAT. Yeah, behind me. And then immediately get shot by the green dozer. But what can you expect? Anyway, I finish up that map. And now it's time to go the last map, Crude Awakening. Really, the major differences is that I picked up crits, and then here I took 2 unupgraded doctor bags instead of 9 lives, which, since this is not on 1 down, is more effective. It wouldn't really end up mattering, but you know, whatever. And here I take Sharp-Eyed instead of Inspiring, which, honestly, kind of a bad choice. I should have gone with Inspiring, but it's not a big deal. And then, of course, I swap Concealer here. And I was debating on whether I should go with Stockpiler or for more health, because Stockpiler, you know, it can give you an extra ECM, or at least it used to. I don't know if that still works for the special throwables. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I ended up just going with more health. So yeah, I've got Healer, Distractor, and some more health. And then, obviously, I have enough levels, so I put the Akron on my bots. And they were already doing pretty well. So, you know, I was interested in seeing how it would go now. So all that was left was waiting for Crude Awakening to show up, which didn't take that long. So, you know, better than the First World Bank. There it is. So I don't know the pre-planning for this map, but because I only played it once. But I kind of vaguely remember how it was, so I was trying to find the area on the top with the puzzle, which, looking back now, is kind of obvious it would be the top floor. So I just kind of put a bunch of gear around somewhere, hoping that it would be useful. And then I kind of skipped over everything else until I realized that I could go back, and I had to kind of read over them. I still don't know what any of these do. It's not like I'm going to go back to the map anyway. I switched the bridge, whatever that does. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, bridge selection.
If you need to get in, this is a good way.
I even tried to, like, figure out what it does, but I still don't really know what it does. And I put the hacking on, but I imagine that's only for stealth. Anyway, starting up the map. Again, I kind of understand the gist of this map, because I played it one time, but the problem is, the one time I played it was with Kev, and he was mostly guiding through because he wanted me to take a look at the puzzle, and then the boss at the end. So this first part, he completed so fast, I didn't even know what happened. So for the most of this first part, I'm kind of just bumbling around looking for stuff, and the first assignment was to find the achievement, but I saw that I could interact with this oil machine, and so I took that, and then it highlighted the analyzer, so I went to go look for that instead of the server. But of course I had to find a way down first. I thought that kind of looked like a server, but no. I wonder if that's openable, like in stealth or something. Whatever. So anyway, I put it into the analyzer, and then I kept looking around until I found the server room. This really is just a lot of me stumbling around. You're lucky that I'm cutting a lot of it out. I was, at one point, kind of worried that I might unironically go over the 1 hour time limit, but it ended up being fine. Yeah, so there's a server room. Now, here, I am going to quickly become acquainted with a sad fact for myself. I accidentally, like, walk up into here, and then see a bunch of enemies, and then run away. I think that's 2 miniguns? Maybe not. Anyway, what I saw is that there's an awful lot of green numbers up there. Not a lot of crits. Either I'm unfathomably unlucky, or Dragon's Breath doesn't crit anymore. Which, I mean, it's fine, it doesn't really matter. I got through the First World Bank with non-critting Dragon's Breath. But that sort of signals to me that maybe Tombstone would have been better, because Tombstone I think is a guaranteed kill, crits or no crits. So yeah, this part I'm just kind of waiting for the server to unlock until I stumble upon a keycard. It seems like it was dropped by one of the like worker civvies earlier. So yeah, I took that, opened this door. It didn't save that much time. Yeah, like 40 seconds. And so here I needed to break something, which I couldn't quite tell what. And then I needed to find a USB. Again, I didn't know where that was, so I started to play Payday the way God intended, which was just kind of rubbing myself up against every surface and pressing F. And notably here, this civilian tried to escape, and I tied him up. Yeah, so I'm just kind of walking around, pressing F on things, hoping that I get what I need. It eventually works. Takes a while though. But that civvy that I stopped from running away, I ended up putting him inside the server room. And that will come into play later. Because just like kknowley, I was saved from the brink by the AI. Although it was a little bit silly the way it happened. Yeah, there you can see him. I put his head in the wall, just in case. So that he wouldn't end up escaping. So in this part is kind of weird. Either I got lucky, or this is how it's designed, but I think I got lucky. Because I was going to run to whatever this objective was. Well, first I wanted to wait out for my converts to die and refresh them. And then I found this lockbox, or not lockbox, but this electrical box right next to it. It doesn't really make sense to have them this close to each other, so I think this is just good on RNG. But yeah. Anyway, this part, I move on to the final puzzle aspect, which I kind of vaguely have an understanding of. You know, you gotta follow the lines. There's not a whole lot to see here. It's just me kind of dying a bunch while trying to figure it out. So I put together a little montage of every time I died. It's kind of sad. Yeah. And I ended up going gray, but it's okay because this is what I brought medic bags for. I prepared for this, you know? It's all part of the plan. There we go, there's my medic bag. And then, you know, I continue trying to figure it out. Eventually I did end up figuring it out, obviously, because you're watching this video now. But yeah. I think this puzzle is good, it just needs less enemies. I don't know why there are so many. And the sightlines are so silly, like they're all on railings. Meh, whatever. I think this map had potential. I already said that in the other video. But whatever, who cares? Anyway, I finish up, and then you have to kind of like defend it, which I end up doing without too many issues. I mean, I keep going down in this section. It's sad. Anyway, I move on to the final part, which is the boss fight. I sort of have an understanding. You kind of need to like light him on fire, but I didn't know where. Oh, first, right, blowtorch. I didn't know where the blowtorch was. First, I waited out to see if maybe this is one of those things where you need the bots to walk up to you, but that didn't do it. So then I ran around and I found a blowtorch. Anyway, so this part, I knew that you needed to open oil and then burn it, but I didn't know where to open it. And I almost got soloed by like a random cop here as well. It was worrying. But that guy missed 4 shots on me. Yeah, that's the cop that almost killed me. Anyway, I stumble around until I find the valve, which, I mean, it's kind of obvious to me now, but I didn't exactly see it. I was worried about how much time it would take, but it ended up not taking very long. I think it took 1 cycle, which makes me think that this challenge is completable in just 1 heist, rather than 2, because I only did 2 because I was worried about, 1, Dragon's Breath not doing enough damage critless, which was proven wrong, and then I didn't know exactly how this boss was going to be. But it seems fine, especially with the bots, so it's fine. I think you could do it with one map, especially if it's something like Framing Frame, like one of the long ones that give you a lot of experience, but I'm not going to bother doing that. So this is where that thing I mentioned comes into play. I went down, but I'm okay. The bots are nearby. But then, you know, the time goes by, and I look around, and they're not moving. The bots just kind of got stuck. Or something? I don't know. Anyway, they don't reach me, which at this point, inspiring, they probably would have. But, oh well. Luckily, I still have that civvy tied up. So, there you go. I'll just cut to that. Yeah, the bots are doing great on kills as well. So anyway, I come back, and then I finally get to play again, after sitting there for 2 minutes. And one thing you'll notice is there's a distinct lack of enemies. I don't know if this is normal, but I realized later why there is a lack of enemies. I need to do this last puzzle, though, with valves, which this I do remember how to do, but I didn't know where the lower valves were. The higher valves are easy, but it took me like a minute to figure out how the lower valves are arranged. But after that, it's pretty straightforward, since again, there's like no enemies here. Until toward the end. Some up here, and I think I go down again. Yeah, waiting for Locke to give instructions. So yeah, there's a second one, third one, fourth one, and then I need to start the drill. And I was ready to watch sort of the explosion of the rig, but it didn't work out exactly how I planned. But the first thing I need to mention is I found out why there were so few enemies here, which you will see momentarily. And I use this doctor bag just in case. It seems they all got stuck. They're all just kind of here. As soon as I ran out and saw this, I was like, oh, good. I'm screwed. But again, nope. Hacker perk deck payday 2. Got through it just fine. And then the rest, you know, I just kind of run around, try and figure out how to escape. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Again, I think it's doable in one heist. I'm not going to be the one to do it. Feel free to do that, though, if you're, like, good at stealth or interested. I guess you don't even need to be good at stealth, you just kind of need to be patient, because Art Gallery is easy enough. The second day of Framing Frame is a nothing burger, and then the third day, I mean, you have to just go slow and careful. Yeah. Make my way to the escape. And then, in my mind, I was thinking that as soon as I reach sort of the boat that I came from, then it would explode, and that I would get to watch it, and it would be cool and all, and then it exploded anyway, and I missed it. Yeah, there's the explosion. And I was so sad that I missed it, but a win's a win. Whatever. I guess I got a little bit of viewing on it anyway. This escape takes weirdly long as well, because you sit there weirdly long. I wasn't sure if I finished it or not. But yeah, there you go. Crude Awakening on death sentence. With only 2 heists beforehand. On a fresh save. Or I guess not a fresh save, because I got like a bunch of coins. Well, I don't know. Anyway, 8 downs. It was kind of a terrible run, but what can you expect? Anyway, woohoo, I did it. GG. This is my first challenge run. Maybe I'll do another, maybe not. Who's to say? Whatever. Anyway,